So in the last class, we considered the components of GMP and the elements of GMP. Today, we will just take a look at the guidelines, what these GMP guidelines say. Okay, so you will just understand, you will just get a glimpse, an idea of what these guidelines say. Okay, and we'll just talk about one component, just one chapter of that guideline, one component, that is premises. So just see what these guidelines have to say. In fact, you will notice that it is also said that GMP is common sense. Anything that is going to be mentioned here as you go through these guidelines, okay, as we will read through these guidelines, you will see that everything mentioned here is that of common sense. But still, it has to be stated, the practices are laid down, but still you see there are, as we say, common sense is not that so common, and then for practicing it is even more difficult. So just see how these things are laid down with regards to just one component we'll be taking up today, and that is about premises, that is the manufacturing plant. So the guidelines start with the premises, saying that the premises must be located. That means its location is defined. Location, that means that is the part of the city, okay, the part of the city where the plant should be located, and its surroundings, okay, that is outside the plant, the environment, the surroundings that you have, that is about the location. That is location. Another thing is layout, that is the inside of the manufacturing premises, the plant, how the floor layout, how the design, that means where should be the storage area, where the raw material that is getting entry into the manufacturing premises, where it is to be unloaded, where it is to be stored, where it is to be and the specifications are to be, or the quality control tests are to be performed, okay, where the manufacturing and how the manufacturing is going to take place, the finished product where it is going to be stored. So that is all about layout, that is inside of the plant. But first it is the location, the external surroundings of the plant. So all that is defined. So the premises must be located, then constructed, even the material of construction that you use to build that material, to build that plant, okay, the walls and everything there, then adapted, designed and maintained to suit the operations to carry it out. Even maintenance part, that is cleaning part and everything, okay. Then the layout and the design of the premises must aim to minimize the risk of errors. Now this is the very fundamental, okay, to the good manufacturing process practices. All these guidelines that you see, the aim is to minimize the risk of errors so that the product that you get is of quality, it is not contaminated, it has to be of quality. So that is the focus, to minimize the risk of errors and contamination and permit effective cleaning maintenance. Okay, always this is the emphasis on cleaning and maintenance of that plant in order to avoid cross contamination, buildup of dust and dirt, and in general any adverse effect on the quality products. Okay, so just see how common these things are, but still they are laid down, and it is required by law that the manufacturing companies abide by these guidelines. Okay, then and please keep in mind that these are just guidelines, okay. That means the guideline has maintained that the plant should be free of dust particles, it should be cleanable, it should be maintainable, okay. You should be able to clean it with a disinfectant. But how you are going to construct, what would be the design, what would, so that is left to the manufacturer. How he maintains it, how he cleans it, that is up to. But again, there are suggestions that how you would clean it also. Okay, so in a way, these are guidelines, these are suggestions, but they have to be ensured, they have to be followed, and you just have to show it to the regulatory authorities that yes, you are practicing these guidelines, that you are maintaining these standards as per these guidelines. But how you do it, it is up to the manufacturer. Okay, that is why you have the differences in the companies. Like for instance, you can have ABC kind of things. Of course, the products they will be manufacturing, they have to pass the quality control test as specified in the IP. So they are, all of the standard products are there. Okay, all of these are the products which are produced in any company for that matter. They of course pass the QC test, but still internally the company's standards could be slightly higher. So you have then about within the premises, let us say about the walls, okay, the walls of the plant. So walls in the manufacturing areas, in the manufacturing areas, okay, in the packaging areas and the corridors. So you see how these sections are classified. In the manufacturing, the packaging area, the corridors should be of plaster finish. Now this is what is mentioned, that it has to be plaster finish so that it is smooth. Why do you want a smooth finish? So that dust particles will not get lodged there. They will not accumulate dust particles, microorganisms, and also if they are smooth, okay, then it is easy to clean them also. So even the walls have to be clean, not just the floors. Floors definitely have to be clean, but even the walls have to be clean. So making the cleaning easier, and so that dust particles should not gather there, they have to be of smooth finish. So that is why you require a plaster finish on the high quality concrete blocks or gypsum board. The finish should be smooth, usually with enamel or epoxy paint. Now even this is recommended, that you should have the walls smooth and painted, and that too with an epoxy paint. Epoxy paint gives you a very smooth surface. Okay, then they should be washable. Okay, because the walls also have to be cleaned, not just wiped out, but they have to be washed, and sometimes even washed with a disinfectant, and able to resist the repeated applications of cleaning and disinfecting agents. Okay, even the guidelines go further to give you a glimpse, suggestion as to which cleaning agents, which disinfecting agents, and what should be the concentration to be used for cleaning or washing the floors and the walls. Then now you have premises about the floor also, guidelines about the floor. So floor covering should be selected for durability. Okay, again, this is all general common sense. The floor has to be durable, okay, as well as for cleanability and resistance to the chemicals, okay, because since it is a manufacturing premises, so it has to be resistant to the chemicals as well with which it is likely to come in contact. Then epoxy, okay, flooring provides a durable and readily cleanable surface. Then about the ceilings, the guidelines say that suspended ceilings, okay, the falls or the suspended ceilings may be provided, but where? In the office areas, in the toilet, in the laboratories, and in the cafeterias. Okay, but that is not there in the manufacturing premises. So in the manufacturing areas require a smooth finish, often of seamless plaster or gypsum board. All ceiling fixtures, okay, fixtures like the in our homes, for instance, these fixtures that we have are the fans, the tube lights, but of course in the manufacturing premises, in the plant, you will not be having fans, and so all these accumulate dust. So again, the basic point is that there should be no accumulation of dust. This is the fundamental that we have to understand. So all the ceiling fixtures, such as the light fittings, the air outlets, that is the exhaust kind of fans, okay, and returns, that is from where the air enters into the manufacturing premises, returns, okay, should be designed to assure ease of cleaning and minimize the potential for accumulation of dust. Then services areas are also defined. Okay, so in the building design, provisions must be made for the services area. Then ceilings, of course. So services, as we said, provisions must be made for the service area, which includes the drains, the steam supply, electricity, the water supply. So all these are service areas, and other services to allow for ease of maintenance. Okay, so just keep in mind all these places, the surface area, this is where actually the dust gathers up, okay, and cleaning and all that is of less importance in these areas. But the GMP have taken into vision even these service areas. So even the particles should not gather in these places. They should be maintained, they should be cleanable. Then doors also, okay, how they are to be fitted, how they are to be opened, inside, outside, positive pressure, all that is mentioned, not just for the doors, even for the windows. Of course, generally in the manufacturing processes, within the production area, you will never see windows. You will never see doors even, okay? So doors and window frames should have all a hard, smooth, impervious finish and should be closed tightly, okay? Doors should not open directly from the production areas to the outside world. Okay, that means once you are inside the manufacturing process, once you enter into the company, and as you move from the corridors and into the production area, into the manufacturing area, that is where this production line is going on, starting from weighing, then granulation, everything is so stepwise. In that area, you will not see the doors and the windows. There you are absolutely shut out from the outside world. You will not know what is going on outside on the roads, outside the manufacturing premises, outside the campus of the company. Okay, you are entirely shut out from the outside world. So this is the point. Now you see, this is all common sense, but it is laid down. Now that is good manufacturing practice guidelines, GMP guidelines. So this was in a very nutshell, in a very briefly, about the premises. So likewise, we have about 15, 18 different chapters on these or the components of the GMP. So we'll be taking up these. So that just gives you a glimpse, an idea of what GMP is all about. And all these are salient features of the GMP. So mainly the guidelines are for the premises, then for the personnel, their training, hygiene, okay, then records, complaints, and the batch records, okay. So these few of the salient guidelines we'll be discussing in the next class.